What are you doing? How you doing, buddy?
Watching you
What are you doing?
all of my doubt suddenly goes away. Step closer. I had died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for thousands.
Saleya! What the hell are you here, dude? What the hell are you doing up here?
Why did a man ask me what I would cook for him to sweep him off his feet? And I just want to wholeheartedly say, I am never in my life trying to sweep a man off of his feet.
Of course.
I am the woman. I would like to be swept. I don't want to pick your big ass up. Nigga, you pull out the broom and you get to sweeping.
Relax. These women want men to do everything for them. Going above and beyond, of course. But when it's time for them to reciprocate, they got a problem with that. They don't even want to do something as simple as making a proper meal from scratch to feed the man that is making sure that they ain't got to worry about any bills. Their man can't even get clean clothes to wear to work. But yet still, their man have to do all the on their list and more. Otherwise, this relationship won't work.
And you got to understand, man, with the way that you out here talking, with the way that you out here acting, with the way that you out here thinking that you're just going to talk crazy to a man, treat a man like he's dirt, a man is not going to pursue that. There's no reason for him to. There's no reason for him to get up out of bed every morning, having a great day, might have had a great night with his friends, just to come up to you. You got an attitude. And the only way that attitude is going to leave is if you have more cowbell.
As women, we're all sensitive and emotional, but men are not. And that's how they were designed. And for good reason. They aren't unevolved, bad, or wrong. They just have different hormones than women. He's a man, and a healthy man has lots of testosterone. So instead of trying to change him into being more sensitive, how about changing your approach to solving problems? Remember, it's not so much about what you say, but how you say it. So speak respectfully, and he will be likely to respond respectfully. And remember, your tone of voice can make all the difference in how he receives what you're saying.
I know how to find quality traditional men that will cherish and protect my giving and serving heart, and I don't know what I'm doing so wrong not to deserve it from someone.
It's not a matter of deserve, it's a matter of find.
Mm-hmm.
As we live in that society, all you have to do is get on the internet, and you will see why there are less and less traditional men out there. Not just because of the way they're shamed and like the way that this is shamed, but the way that women are taught to be now.
Yeah.
That self-worth, the self-awareness, the integrity, the want to provide, the want to have a proper household is shunned. So there are a lot of men, and I know there's a lot of men because I talk to them daily. There are a lot of men that want what you and I have, that want to be the protector and want to be the provider. The problem is it's probably like a 10-to-1 on men who just want to take advantage, smash, and call it a day. It is a dying thing, but it is still very much a thing, and you can very much find good men that want to do those things, but you can't settle.
And honestly, you know, modern women be like, why am I not being asked out? It's because, honestly, men are having, with a lot of these young ladies, men are having to ask. Men are having to beg for the bare minimum. I'm having to beg for softness. I'm having to beg for, you just showing some type of interest. I'm having to beg for you to say that you even like me. I'm having to beg for you to say thank you. while you expecting me to buy you all of these gifts and wine you and dine you and all that stuff.
Bro, let me tell you something. The moment you stop chasing what disrespects you, your life upgrades instantly. Most men destroy themselves because they're loyal to the wrong woman. A woman who drains them, a woman who uses them, a woman who can only love what they can take. But a man becomes dangerous the day he decides he'd rather lose someone than lose his self-respect. Trust me, brother. Loyalty means nothing if you're loyal to the wrong woman who can only benefit from your suffering. Love means nothing if it's costing you your peace. Don't prove your worth by staying. You prove it by leaving. You prove it by saying, I refuse to fight for someone who won't fight their own demons. When you walk away, watch how fast your mind clears. Watch how fast your purpose returns. Watch how fast your soul unclenches from all the tension you didn't even notice. Most people weren't attracted to you, bro. They were attached to the access, to the attention, to the energy, to the security, the version of you that you keep sacrificing. Remove that, you remove them. And that's the truth. Some women don't leave your life. They get revealed. Your silence exposes them. Your distance reveals them. And your standards filter them. A man doesn't lose anything when he walks away. He loses everything when he stays where he's not valued. Protect your peace. Protect your heart. Protect your future. Because no relationship is worth breaking the man you're becoming. Trust me.
And a lot of these modern women, they say a lot of stuff that's demeaning. They talk about how men are shaming women, but a lot of these modern women out here shame men a lot. They say some off the wall stuff. They say some crazy stuff to disrespect a man. And when a man says, okay, that's how it is, you have to understand when you say stuff like that, when you do stuff like that, a man, you're going to call him cold. You're going to say that he's emotionally unavailable. But really, part of that, or maybe even a good portion of that, was you talking trash. Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Like Kevin Samuels always used to say. You two were worried about shaming him and insulting him. Now that man seemed cold and distant, and you're not looking at what you did that might have caused that.
So let's nip this man versus bear conversation in the bud right the now. The question is, would you rather be in the forest alone with a man or a bear? Not a or a bear. What percentage of men do y'all think are? That's what's really getting to me, because y'all make it seem like it's a 50-50% chance. Like, oh, he might me, he might not. Have you lost your mind? And before y'all answer that in the comments, because it is a question and I do want an answer, what percentage of men do y'all think are? And when you answer, I want you to put it in the form of a sentence of the men that are in your life. So that way we can bring this back to reality. So I want you to say, of my 3 brothers, 2 of them are. Of my 6 male cousins, 3 of them are. Of my 5 male friends, 2 of them are. I want you to give me those numbers.
It's ridiculous. I can proudly say out of all my 5 brothers, none of them are rapists. That's why I would never choose the bear. I'm not stupid. The bear will not ever protect me in any form of way. All I am to the bear is food. So why would I choose to be in a forest or be alone with a bear? I'm not stupid.
What have you learned about men that surprised you when you were escorting?
I mean, the fact that they're extremely horny was surprising, but it was something about like the narrative where the guy like transformed from
man to werewolf.
Yeah, the man to werewolf thing. And like, it was so visceral and strong, and it occurred basically every time where I'm like, oh, a guy's just gonna lose himself in bed.
Do you think he feels more comfortable to do that because he's paying you and he doesn't feel like he has to focus on regular norms?
I think guys still are very much bound by regular norms when they're paying me most of the time. Probably, I would say 80% of men are probably having sex with me the way that they would if it were like a girl that they met on a date.
If your wife can spend more than you make, like you need to make more monies, 150 maybe to 250,000 a year would be comfortable for sure. The more the merrier. But
300,000, like I guess if they made less than that, I feel like we wouldn't have the lifestyle I wanted, so I would work. Like life's expensive.
Anywhere from 70 to 100K. I would have to say 127.
$500,000.
Is that bad?
Probably 150 to $250,000 a year.
Ideally, my husband needs to be making like 650,000.
And what you're seeing from a lot of these guys is they're more selective in the time that they give to people. Their family, friends, all of that's golden, because those are people usually that have invested in them, that have shown them love, that have been with them, that have, ride or die. That's my boy. Hey, I got a homegirl. You know what I mean? Those are the people that have shown them love, that have talked to them, that have counseled with them, that have supported them. Those are the type of people that have their back. They are there, loud, every time you need them. Hey man, I'm here to support you. Not only with my resources, money, finances, you got my voice too. You need me to speak up for you on your behalf. You need some of these brothers out there. They'll get out there and rumble with you, man. I ain't condoning nothing now. I ain't condoning. I'm just saying they get out there and rumble with you a little bit. Okay, so they'll do that. But for modern women, you don't get those same perks because you don't first of all, you don't reciprocate. Second of all, you don't show that same type of loyalty back. I'm not going to get anything back from you. So you're not going to get those perks from me at all.
Here is a PSA for all of you married women who are thinking of divorcing your good husband, the perfect husband, but you don't know what's wrong with him. Let me put a warning out there. There are plenty of other women waiting for him to be released from your clutch, okay? So before you divorce that so-called perfect man, you said so yourself, there are other women waiting for the chances to slide into his DM. And then when that happens, 2-3 months down the road or even a year, don't get upset. Okay, don't come online and say, oh, he's such a narcissistic guy who move on to his new supply, infatuation supply. Shut the fuck up, okay? A lot of you are not qualified to diagnose narcissistic behavior. A lot of you women over here are narcissistic too. So don't get Pikachu face when the man is immediately pick up from the streets, You guys say, oh yeah, from the street. And then you guys got so jealous. I've seen this video, this lady. Oh, he is now, move on with the new wife. And he's narcissistic. Please, you just upset that he move on before you. Had you move on before him, or you will be showing off the, oh, look at me. Yeah. Keep playing. A lot of you Western women play too much. I don't know who I am at 32. If you can't figure your out at 32, you need Jesus.
If a man has no friends, pay attention. He has no friends or only a very small circle. Don't get it twisted. That's not a red flag. That's a man who has mastered himself. Yeah. A man with a small circle understands that quality will always matter more than quantity. He doesn't need an audience to validate his worth. His confidence is internal. It doesn't fluctuate based on who for him. He's comfortable alone because he knows his own value. He's selective with his time, his energy, and who gets access to him here. And men like that are the hardest ones to replace.
Honestly, sometimes I feel like couples need to have like weekends where, like intimacy weekends where that's the only thing y'all doing. Sometimes couples need to have like a yes weekend. Grant him a yes weekend. Everything you ask me to do, I'm going to say yes. But the person who is the recipient and the person who has not been getting what they need, don't take advantage of that. Only be focused on what it is that you haven't been receiving that you desire. If your spouse is willing to do that, go ahead, know in your mind, this is what I'm desiring. Know that, so that when they swing around and they ask, you're ready. And you're not asking for something that's you don't want. Ask for what you really want. Ask for what's going to make you feel like you're special. It's important, men and women, it's important we feel special. But we can't keep suppressing what it is that we need because we have conjured up in our own minds that our spouse is not going to meet them. Give them another opportunity and a chance. And when that chance is given to you, people of God, take it. Take it.
Well, I think what you have to say is one fundamental thing. And the fundamental thing is early in the relationship, you have to say, this is a job. This relationship is a job. I want to be good at it. I want to be good at it. I want to be good at it every day. And I know there's going to be days where I'm better at it than others. And there's going to be days where I absolutely the bed. And so I want you to know that you can tell me when I'm doing it right, and you can tell me when I miss the mark. Because I know when you tell me that, you're not criticizing me.
I'm in my soft guy era. If you want to get with me, you have to have your own car, your own job, and your own house. And you can't be taller than 5'5". I'm in my soft guy era. You have to come and pick me up. I'm in my soft guy era. Of course, I'm going to make you wait an extra hour for me to get ready. I'm in my soft guy era. You need to open the door for me. I'm in my soft guy era. Of course I'm going to change the music because you have bad taste. I'm in my soft guy era. Of course I'm going to order the most expensive thing on the menu and you're going to pay for it. Also, I'm going to make a to-go order for my children because you need to take care of them too. We're a package deal. I'm in my soft guy era. No, you can't come in. This is just the first date. What kind of guy do you take me for?
Alright, brother. Yeah, I see your ass over there playing stepdaddy. Being a good man, brother. Your ass just better be careful. Cause in a minute, your ass not finna be able to go nowhere. Yeah, nigga, cause that little boy over there, son, he think you the one, brother. Yeah, but we both know the kid is not your son. Woo-hoo. Yeah, brother, the asking you where you at, where you going, what you doing. Now you got this little in your face talking about you gonna leave us, daddy. Yeah, go ahead and get the from out that situation, brother, for you end up stuck there forever. Go ahead and call me back, though, stepdaddy. Thank you.
If he wanted to leave, he would have left. The reason it's so confusing is because part of him wants to stay, right? And part of him wants to run. That's why he's talking about the future one day and then pulling away the next, okay? One day he's affectionate, the next day he's distant. One day you feel so loved, and the next day you feel completely alone. He's not playing games with you. He is at war with himself, and I want to explain this because I was that guy. I genuinely loved my wife. I wanted the future that we talked about. The conversations weren't fake, but here's the problem. I entered the relationship from a place of lack, and because of that, I became what I thought I needed to in order to sustain the relationship in the first place. And when you do that, you begin to lose yourself. You become increasingly disconnected from your own emotions, your own needs, and your own identity. And it's not that the relationship is necessarily causing that, but it becomes the place where you feel it the most acutely. And then you start to become trapped between honesty and loss. If you admit how disconnected you feel, you risk losing the person that you love. All right, but then if you stay silent, you risk abandoning yourself even further. And it's an impossible position to live in sustainably. It will come to an end, and it did. So instead of facing any of that, we think, maybe I'm just stressed. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe I need more time. Maybe this is just what marriage feels like. And that keeps us numb, and that keeps us distracted, but it never fixes the issue, and then it just gets worse. We pull away more, and then we love you even harder. It's just this like crazy cycle of back and forth. When a man is that deeply conflicted, the choice becomes, in his mind, do I choose to lose the relationship or do I choose to lose myself? And I wish I could say there was one simple solution to this, but there's not. There's many. And this is exactly what I wrote about in my book. I wonder what it would be like for a man to become self-aware, take accountability for it, and then write all about it. It's right there.
Women attack men when they're happy.
Women attack men when men are happy?
Mm-hmm.
So wait, why do women do that?
Because happiness and power comes together in a man's body. And the power is scary. It terrifies us. Especially if we don't feel connected to you. Because we're afraid to use it against us. If we feel connected to you, then we're happy you're happy. If we don't, it's scary. And so we have to diminish the power. So we will attack them when they're happy. They come home, they caught a big fish or whatever it was they did. If it wasn't something that I did that gave you that feeling, then that's a problem.
Yeah, you're more excited to go out with your friends.
It's supposed to make you happy.
I don't get what she want, and all of a sudden your is small. How you got millions on the line, yet you sitting there asking for $2,000 trying to blackmail them? You ain't a pick me, but you the one asking for $2,000. You the one that's all over the internet looking dumb as shit, but you're not a pick-me? Girl, we know what you're trying to do. You want attention. You want the clout. You want the money because you're broke. You're a broke pick-me. You're the pick-me. And then crashing out and just calling bros little. I didn't want to f*** you. I didn't want to f*** you. I didn't want to f*** you. But you said he SA'd you. Yeah, okay, girl. Okay.
And your dick is little! Your dick is this big. Let's talk about it. I didn't want to f*** you, bro. I didn't want to f*** you. I didn't want to f*** you. These little scallywag ass, pick me ass bitch on these apps that y'all these wanna f*** you, nigga. Not me though. I have real millionaires worth hundreds of millions on my line.
Me and my ex-wife, we got into an argument over the phone, the mother of my 2 daughters. And she let something slip that made me question, is the first kid I had with her my actual daughter? So when I go and get my kids, all of them together, all 3, I took them to Charlotte and we got the DNA test. And sure enough, a couple weeks later, come back, find out the first kid I had with her while I was in high school was never mine to begin with. And I just had my other kid with her, right? The one that really is mine. That was a rough time. What's the worst thing a woman could do? To me, that's the worst thing you could do. And she did it because she knew I was going in the military. I made the decision I was going. Now that I know the truth that this kid isn't mine, I almost had a little bit of relief that I can probably let this part of my life go. And also child support. The sadness that hit me was the fact that she's not mine now. When I get my daughter, watching her watch me take her sister now, and not her. The first few years, I still took her, but I knew at some point I'm gonna have to not. Her dad's gonna want time and all this stuff. But the first time I got her, after the fact, I asked her, did your mom tell you something about what's going on with us? And she said, Mom said that you don't want to be my dad anymore. And I was like, here we go. So I got to battle this. And then trouble started happening between me and her that I just had to let it go. We still talk today, but it's just sad what I had to deal with.
I'm really sick of y'all acting like relationships are everything they're cracked up to be. They're not. They're not. The jig is up. The only benefit of being in a relationship these days is having 2 incomes in the household. And the way I see it, you don't need to be in a relationship to do that. I just don't think y'all understand the level of peace you find sitting in the crib alone on a Saturday night. You don't have to worry about your man. You don't have to worry about what he's doing with that thing, who he's messaging behind your back, how many women are ignoring his messages behind your back for that matter. Even being at the crib is more peaceful. You can fart whenever you want to. You don't have to sneak off to the basement bathroom to drop a willy-nilly deuce. You could just let that fly. You could be ugly as all home at the crib. You don't have to worry about impressing him. You don't have to worry about cooking these 5-course meals just to please your man so he thinks he has a good woman. You ever heard of girl dinner? That's the real thing. I could eat a Tic Tac and a cup of coffee with some sugar-free creamer, and that will last me all day. You're thinner, you're richer, and as long as your vibrator and your headphones are charged up simultaneously with a fat sack of that sweet sticky devil's lettuce that you got at the dispensary for the Lolo, all of your credit cards are paid so you can order whatever the you want off of Uber Eats. Should you get the munchies and want to eat more than a Tic Tac, you are good. That is golden. That is a level of peace and comfortability that I have never found with a man. This shit's lit. I'm sorry.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
Most men begin their healing journey shortly before or after losing the woman that they likely should have been able to spend the rest of their lives with. Because when she leaves him, separates from him, or divorces him, or at least seriously threatens any of these options, he is left with only 2 paths. Either he confronts his unresolved wounds that push her away slowly over time, because unfortunately, from what I have seen and personally experienced, it takes extreme amounts of pain and loss for most men to get their heads out of their own asses and finally face the demons that they've been running away from for years. And when men finally feel this pain, they will start asking deeper questions and finally be open to doing the inner work. This is a fork in the road for many men. They will either enter this difficult battle of self-reflection and healing, and through that process finally become the best version of themselves, or they will continue to blame everyone else for their problems and go on to find the next distraction that will inevitably lead to him repeating the same patterns, leading him right back to experiencing the same type of pain he found when he lost the love of his life. And if he never does the inner work, he will not only repeat those patterns for the rest of his life, he will also pass down these wounds to his children to carry on the burden of his family's curse.
See, now, when I respond to this, now that I'm responding to it, it's going to sound very misogynistic, but I really don't give a f. See, because I'm not the fatherless men that y'all deal with, okay? See, I was raised by men. We didn't compete. They didn't raise me. The men in my family didn't raise me or the other men in my family to compete with women. We're meant to take care of and provide for women. We don't compete with women. That doesn't mean I don't see women. However, a woman could never compete with me. Sorry, because you're not my competition. You're a competition with other women. So, unlike the fatherless men in your life, your brothers, and probably the men that you sleep with, that's not me over here. I don't compete with men. Shawty, what is this right here? What is this right here? That is me competing with the best of the best, sweetheart. Achieving the rank of sergeant in a matter of 4 years in the hardest military branch in this country. Yeah, and was in zone for staff sergeant before I decided to get the f- out. That's competing. Currently a federal employee for the United States Navy. One of the hardest the federal government, which is some of the hardest sectors of job work to even get hired in with a secret clearance. But I don't compete with men. Sweetheart, you're not my competition. You never will be. Most of these guys on my see, because I'm a confident. I know y'all aren't used to seeing those. Yeah, I know. We just supposed to be big, black, and humble. But see, over here, ain't nobody my competition. Because I'm going to always do what I got to do. And I'm always beat my competition. That's just what it is. So go back to the humble, boneless, spineless, fatherless men that you let skeet in you. Okay?
Men don't know how to be men anymore.
I have been hearing this from a lot of women lately, and I can't help but find the entire situation to be not just amusing, but rather ironic. So tell me, ladies, what exactly makes you qualified to tell a man what they need to do to be a man? What makes you the subject matter experts in what constitutes a man, yet there are a great many of you out there that cannot come close to putting into words or articulating what actually constitutes a woman? How can someone be an expert on what one gender is, yet be so confused on the other? Because I would like to point out that if there were men out there, as I'm sure there are, that are telling women that they're not acting like real women anymore, a great many of you would be highly offended. Because how could a man know what it's really like to be a woman? Yet there are some of you out there that will still tell men how to act like real men.
They have these apps out there, or what they say they have these apps out there where you put a person's phone number in there and you can see if they cheating and you can see all their text messages. Fellas, don't ever do no dumb like that. If you have a feeling of what's going on and that person acting kind of shysty, don't ever go into a competition with another man. If she's spending time with another man, she's texting another man behind your back, talking to another man from her past, whatever the heck she's doing, let him have her. You can't do anything about it. It's something about him that is not you. She's holding on to something. You don't have to find these apps and see if she's cheating and everything. You know what's going on. But what's going on is you don't have a purpose. You don't have a God-given purpose that you know that you want to be a part of that fulfills you. Because once you get that purpose, you don't have no time to see if she's doing this, if she's doing that. She's acting funny. She's committed to another. Let him go. Let her go. You go your way and with your purpose. Your mistress is your money. Don't go do the get back thing. You don't have to get back with nobody or get back at nobody. You be a good person regardless. You don't have to disrespect nobody. You don't have to try to put your hands on nobody. You be a good dude and you fall in love with your purpose. You raise that frequency and you keep on going. And I know a lot of men is going through it. We all going through it. Your woman is spending time with another man. whether he is emotionally, spiritually, or she physically is spending time with another man. You need to wake up. You need to raise your frequency, raise your self-esteem, and get your ass to work. Your purpose will take you to the next level. You're welcome.
Should a leader aim to be loved, respected, or feared?
I think that whether you want to be those things or not, you will be all of them. If you want to be respected and even loved, you will also be feared because you have power. The reason why people fear somebody in a leadership position is because they have power. What is power? It means that they can change something in your life. So now you fear them. I see respect as letting something maintain its state. When I think of loved, I think of how much are they willing to sacrifice for you? And so when I think about great leader, I think that they are respected and loved in the best situations, which is the people on your team want to let you maintain as you are. And at the same time, they would sacrifice a lot to keep you as their leader. I think you want both of those things in an ideal situation.
I'm just curious, has the Odd Socks, what's her name, Odd Socks Jess girl ever acknowledged the Mewtwo comments? Like, I know she's seen them. I'm just curious if she's ever acknowledged the comments and how she feels about it. Like, see, like, I feel like there's either one of two ways she views the Mewtwo comments. Either she has no idea who Mewtwo is and thinks that's really weird. One day she looked it up and she thought like people were insulting her, or she knows exactly who Mewtwo is and she thinks it's funny, or she knows exactly who Mewtwo is and she still thinks it's an insult. I don't know. I'm just curious what the Odd Socks girl thinks about all the Mewtwo comments, because you cannot go into a, since she touched TikTok, you can't find a video of her that she's in and the majority of the comments aren't about her being Mewtwo. I saw an evolved Mewtwo comment with a picture, and I saw Mega Mewtwo and they put a picture in there too. I don't even think those are real Mewtwo's. I keep saying Mewtwo. I'm just curious how she feels about the comments, if she thinks it's funny or if she thinks it's really weird. I feel like she would think it's funny, but I don't know that woman. So what do y'all think?
Modern women really, they're not serious. They always have something silly to say. Well, how come I can't get a man to take me seriously? This goes beyond joking, right? Because you can have fun, you can be silly. You know, that's just who she is. She's just a goofy person. She just likes to have fun. She just likes to cut up. That's just who she is, right? If that's not your personality, leave her alone. That's one thing. What we have today is modern women cackling and being silly in a man's face when a man is trying to approach. And not only do they act silly and immature, they continue it instead of saying, no, we just playing. What's going on? There's one woman in the gym, man came up to her, you know, maybe he could have said something a little bit better. Maybe he could have approached a little bit better. He didn't do anything weird. But, you know, maybe he could have said some stuff better. Her friend jumps in, starts cackling and doing all that other stuff. And instead of saying, no, I'm sorry, go ahead. You know, this is your moment. And really, you know, being genuine about it. You know, maybe you give him a good natured ribbing. Hey, you remember when you said that to Chloe? And, you know, just kind of bust out laughing. And, you know, you kind of roast them a little bit and go on about your business. Men can take that. What men don't want to be involved in anymore is being the butt of the joke every single time. And they really didn't even do anything wrong. It's not worth it, man.